Let's talk about a feeling that so many of us live with. We've started to mistake it for our personality. It's the feeling of I'm not good enough. It's the gnawing background hum of anxiety. It's the chronic people-pleasing, the inability to say no without feeling a tidal wave of guilt. It's the feeling of being an adult, but feeling deep down like a small, terrified 7-year-old child who is just pretending to be a grown-up and is terrified of being found out. It's the imposter syndrome. It's the overachieving and the perfectionism. It's a flash of rage that comes out of nowhere, an anger so intense it frightens you over something so small. It's the string of relationships that all seem to end the same way, with the same feelings of abandonment or suffocation. It's the emptiness you feel after a success, the feeling that no amount of achievement, no promotion, no praise can ever fill that hole inside that we call this anxiety. We call it depression. We call it stress. But what if it's not? What if all of these are just the symptoms? What if they're all just distress signals sent up from a single source? What if deep inside your psyche, there's a part of you that has been exiled? A part of you that was wounded, abandoned, and locked away in the dark decades ago, got a part of you that is still that 7-year-old child. And it is still scared. It is still angry. It is still wounded. And it is, right now, running your life. The great Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung had a framework that helps us understand this better than anyone. While the term inner child became popular after him, the entire concept is the absolute bedrock of his work. He understood that to heal your life, you cannot just manage your symptoms. You cannot just think positive. You cannot just fix your behaviors. That's like painting over a crack in the foundation of a house. You have to go to the foundation. You have to go into the basement of your psyche, into the dark, and find that lost part of you. You have to heal your inner child. And when you do that, you don't just fix your anxiety. You don't just fix your relationships. You heal your life. You become whole. So today, we are going on a journey. This is not a 5-step hack. This is the great work, as you would call it. We're going to get a map for your inner world. We will understand what the inner child is from a Jungian perspective, how it was wounded, how it's secretly controlling your adult life. And then we will walk through the practical, powerful, sacred steps of how to find it, how to listen to it, and how to heal it. This is the journey home. First, we have to understand what we're talking about. What is this inner child? In pop psychology, we think of it as a metaphor, a feeling, or just a memory. The Jungian perspective is so much more profound at Carl Jung. The inner child is not a memory. One is a living, autonomous part of your psyche. He called these splintered off parts of the psyche complexes. To think of it this way, when you, as a small child, experience something overwhelming, a moment of trauma, abandonment, terror, or profound shame, your conscious mind, your ego, cannot process it. It's too much. It's a shock to the system. And so, to survive, your psyche does something brilliant. It splits that, it takes that entire event, the memory, the feelings, the sounds, the age you were, and it splinters it off from your main day-to-day consciousness. It's like a psychic splinter or a fragment of you that gets frozen in time. This splinter is the wounded child complex that it is not a memory. You that it is a part of you that is still living unconsciously in that moment of pain. So, when you're 40 years old and your boss criticizes your work in a meeting, why do you not feel like a 40-year-old adult? Why do you suddenly feel 5 years old? Why do you feel that exact, specific, hot, paralyzing shame you felt in kindergarten when your teacher yelled at you? Jung would say, because in that moment, you're not in charge. The trigger has activated the complex. The wounded child has hijacked your consciousness. It has possessed the ego. You're literally a 5-year-old in a 40-year-old's body, reacting with a 5-year-old's emotional tools. This is what a trigger is. It is the wounded child screaming, danger. We are about to be shamed. We are about to be abandoned. Red alert. But this is only half of the story, because Jung also said there is another, deeper inner child. Not just your personal wounded child, but the archetypal child, the divine child. This is the part of the collective, unconscious that lives in all of us. It is the archetype of new beginnings. It is your potential. It is your futurity. It is your playfulness, your spontaneity, your creativity, your sense of wonder and magic. And here is the key. When your personal wounded child is locked in the basement, screaming in pain, it blocks your access to the divine child. You cannot access your playfulness and joy because your child self is stuck in terror and grief. You cannot access your spontaneity because your child self is paralyzed by the fear of doing it wrong. So, the journey to heal your inner child is a two-part process. 1. We must descend into the basement, the shadow, and heal our personal wounded child. 2. By doing so, we unlock the door and reclaim the gold of the divine child. Our joy, our creativity, our authentic whole life. So, how does this wound happen in the first place? How do we lose this child? It happens in what I call the great betrayal. And the most painful part is that we are the ones who betray it too. A T starts when we're small. And it doesn't just have to be big T trauma, abuse, violence, a parent's death. It is most often little t trauma. It is the chronic, slow drip poison of emotional misattunement. That's the little boy who is sensitive and loves art, being told by his father, "Stop that. It's for sissies. Go play football." In that moment, the boy learns, my real self, the sensitive artist, is unacceptable. It is shameful. To be loved by my father, I must not be that. So he splits. He abandons his sensitive, artistic child. He locks it in the basement, and he builds a new self, a mask that he builds a persona that he becomes the tough guy, the jock, the opposite of what he is. It's the little girl who is loud and angry in his boundaries, being told, be a nice girl. Good girls are quiet. Don't be so bossy. In that moment, she learns, my real self, my power, my voice, is unacceptable. To be loved, I must not be that. So, she abandons her powerful, authentic child, and she builds a persona. She becomes the pleaser, the good girl, the selfless, one who never has needs of her own. This is the self-abandonment. We, to survive, betray our own soul. We lock the real you, the child, in the shadow, because it is weak, needy, angry, too much, or not enough. And we build a persona, a capable, successful, perfect adult, to be the armor that protects us from ever feeling that shameful vulnerability again. The tragedy is that our armor, our persona, becomes our prison. The entire adult life we build, our success, our perfection, our toughness, is just a 100-ton, steel-reinforced wall built around a 5-year-old child who is still in the basement crying alone in the dark. And this is why we feel like a fraud. Because we are. We are a mask. And the real you, the child, is pounding on the inside of that wall, begging to be let out. And that is your anxiety. That is your depression. That is your self-sabotage. It is the child trying to get your attention. So, how does this exiled, wounded child run your life in the basement? It controls you in 4 specific, devastating ways. 1. Emotional hijacking, the trigger. This is the most obvious one. As we said, when you're triggered, you're possessed by the complex point 3. You're in a meeting. Your boss says, this isn't your best work. Consciously, you're a 42-year-old professional. Unconsciously, the wounded child complex, who is told by a 3rd-grade teacher, you're just not smart, is activated. The 8-year-old takes the wheel. You don't just feel criticized. You feel annihilated. You feel stupid. You feel worthless. You might freeze and say nothing. You might explode in defensive rage. You might go to the bathroom and cry. This is not an adult reaction. It is the 8-year-old, reliving the original wound. Your boss became your 3rd-grade teacher. Your adult life is just a stage, and you are unconsciously casting everyone in it as characters from your past point 2. Self-sabotage, the child's rebellion. The wounded child, locked in the basement, doesn't just sit there, it acts out. You, your adult persona, says, we must be perfect. We must work 12 hours a day. We must be disciplined. We must not rest. The child in the basement, who is desperate for play, for rest, for comfort, says, oh yeah, watch this. And it sabotages you. It's not you who lazily procrastinates on that big project that IT is the child. in an act of rebellion, screaming, "I will not be a perfect machine. I need to play." It's not you who weekly binge eats the pint of ice cream. It is the child, in an act of desperation, screaming, "I need comfort. I need nurturing. And if you won't give it to me, I will take it." Your self-sabotage is not a character flaw, for it is not laziness. It is your wounded child, trying to get its legitimate needs met in the only clumsy, destructive way it knows how. Because your adult persona refuses to listen. Point 3. Projection, hating the child in others. This one is subtle and it is corrosive. The wounded child is now in your shadow. It is the part of you that you have labeled unacceptable. It is needy, weak, vulnerable, scared, angry. And since you despise and reject that part of yourself, you become intolerant of it in other people. This is projection. Do you feel an irrational rage at needy or oversensitive people? You are projecting your own exiled, needy child, which you find shameful. Do you feel contempt for people who are weak or scared? You are projecting your own exiled weakness and fear. Do you feel fury at lazy people? You are projecting your own child's desperate need for rest, which your productive persona finds unacceptable. Your triggers are not just your child screaming. Sometimes they are your hatred of your own child, mirrored back at you by the world. 4. Relationship repetition, the unconscious reenactment. This is the most tragic one of all. We think as adults that we choose our partners with our conscious minds. We are looking for someone kind, funny, stable. Jung would say, "No, you are not. Your wounded child is choosing, and the child is not looking for someone healthy. The child is looking for someone familiar. And what is familiar? The parent who created the original wound. So, if your father was emotionally unavailable and critical, your wounded child will unconsciously scan every room and be magnetically drawn to the one man who is emotionally unavailable and critical. If your mother was smothering, codependent, and had no boundaries, your wounded child will find a partner who is smothering and has no boundaries. Why? It's madness, because the wounded child is not trying to be happy. It is trying to heal. It is unconsciously thinking, "This is the original scene. This is my father. If I can just get this man to finally love me, to finally see me, it will retroactively heal the original wound." This is the repetition compulsion. It is the child's desperate, magical, and doomed attempt to win the past. But you cannot win. You will never get the unavailable man to be available. You will never get the critical woman to be nurturing. You are just re-traumatizing yourself over and over and over. Your life becomes a prison of your past. This is how the child runs your life. So, how do we stop it? How do we heal? This is the great work. This is the journey of individuation. That it is the conscious journey of the adult youth, down into the basement, to find the lost child, and to rescue it. You, the adult, must become the hero of your own story. You must become the good parent you never had. This is a lifelong relationship, not a one-time fix. But it begins with a few very clear, very courageous steps. Step 1. The descent. Acknowledge the wound. The first step is the hardest. You must stop running. You must stop positive thinking your way over the pain. That is just your persona, telling the child to shut up and be happy. You must stop numbing with work, booze, scrolling, perfectionism. You must make a conscious decision to turn around and face the darkness. You must say, "I am in pain, something is wrong, and I am willing to listen." This is the descent. It is the conscious choice to feel. Step 2. Create a safe space, the temenos. You cannot heal a terrified child in a war zone. Your adult life is a war zone of triggers and stress. Sacred space. Jung called it a temenos for this work. This can be a physical space, your bedroom 10 minutes before bed, a chair in a quiet corner. This can be a relational space, a good therapist who is trained in this. But most importantly, it must be an internal space. You, the adult, must become the safe container. This means you practice compassion. You drop the judgment. When the child does show up as anxiety, rage, shame, Your new job is not to judge it. Ugh, I'm so needy. Point 5. Your new job is to welcome it. Hello, old friend. I see you. You are welcome here. You are safe with me. This is revolutionary. You are changing the entire internal weather from war to welcome. Step 3. Find and listen to the child. Active imagination. So, the space is safe. One. Sit in your teminos, your safe space. 15 minutes. No distractions. 2. Get a journal. 3. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. 4. Call the child to mind. You can visualize a younger you, or you can just focus on the feeling. That knot in your stomach, that anxiety in your chest. 5. Give that feeling a form. Let it be a child. Where is it? In a dark room? In a closet? 6. Now, in your journal, write a dialogue, or just do it in your mind. You, the adult, the compassionate witness, speaks first. You, hello, I see you. I'm here. I'm not going to hurt you. Just listen. The child is probably scared, silent, or angry. You, I know I've left you here for a long time. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I was scared too. But I'm here now. Child, maybe go away. You're just going to leave again. You, I'm not. Promise. I'm not going anywhere. What do you need? What are you feeling? Child, I'm scared. I'm always scared. I'm scared they're going to yell. I'm scared I'm wrong. You, I know. It was scary. You were right to be scared. Your feelings make perfect sense. This right here is the albedo, the whitening. This is the antidote to the original wound. The original wound was, your feelings are wrong. You are wrong. The healing is, your feelings are valid. You make perfect sense. You are, for the first time in your life, giving this child the one thing it never got, validation. You are witnessing its pain, not judging it. Point 6. Step 4. Reparenting, the integration. This is the final ongoing step. This is where you heal your life. Reparenting is the conscious choice in your adult life to give your wounded child what it needed and what your adult persona is still denying you. This happens in 2 ways. 1. Emotional reparenting. This is the dialogue. You do it every day. When you feel shame, you stop, and your adult says to the child, I see you. You did nothing wrong. You are not bad. You are loved. When you feel fear, your adult says to the child, I see you're scared. It's okay. I am the adult now. I will handle this. I will protect you. You can rest. You are literally rewiring your nervous system. You are teaching the child that the red alert is over. The war is over. It is safe. Point 2. Practical reparenting. The child has needs, not just emotional ones. Your wounded child is not just wounded. It is also a child that IT needs, play at IT needs, rest.it needs, joy.it needs, fun. Your perfect adult persona despises these things. They are unproductive, a waste of time. Your healing is to do them. You must schedule, play. What did you love doing at 8? Drawing? Buy yourself a $5 box of crayons and draw. Dancing? Put on your favorite song and dance in the living room. Doing nothing? Schedule do nothing time. This is not frivolous. This is essential. You are literally giving the child its gold back. You are proving to it through action that its needs are valid. This is what fills the hole. You stop needing the world to give you validation. Because you are giving it to yourself. Point 7, you stop needing your partner to fix you because you are healing yourself. This is the journey. This is the great work. You are not getting rid of the child. You are integrating it. You are bringing it home. And what happens when you do? What happens when you heal? You don't just stop feeling anxious. You reclaim the gold that was exiled with the child. You reclaim your playfulness. You reclaim your spontaneity. You reclaim your joy. You reclaim your creativity. You reclaim your authenticity. You reclaim your connection to the divine child. You stop living from your wound, and you start living from your wholeness. Your triggers don't disappear, but they lose their power. You see them coming. You feel the 5-year-old shame, and your adult immediately steps in. I'm here. It's just a criticism. It's not an annihilation. I've got this. Your relationships change. You stop being drawn to the familiar, unavailable partner. Because your child is no longer looking for a parent. You are its parent. You are now free to choose a partner who is actually healthy. Your life changes. You stop working the 12-hour persona job that's killing you. Because your child's need for play and rest is now just as important as your need for success. You heal your inner child, and you heal your life. You become whole. You become real. This is not a journey that ends. It is a relationship you are beginning. It is the most important relationship you will ever have. It is the journey from self-abandonment to self-love. It is the journey home. You are not broken. You are not a failure. You are just disconnected, and you have the map. You can begin again right now. Thank you so much for going on this deep, important journey with me today. This is the real work, and it is the most beautiful work. If this conversation resonated with you, if you felt seen in this, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe for more deep, practical, and honest conversations. And now for our community. This is a brave and safe space. Let's make a small promise to our inner child right now. Go down to the comments and let me know. What is one small, fun, or silly thing that your inner child loves to do that you will try to do this week? Is it coloring? Eating a specific snack? Watching a cartoon? Let's share. Let's make this real. Be kind to yourself, and be especially kind to that part of you. You are worthy of your own love. I'll see you in the next one.